Hello, I'm Sapna Desai, Assistant Professor in English from Vanita Vishram Women's College of Commerce. Today we are going to take up the topic Punishment in Kindergarten. This is a poem by Kamala Das. It is a part of the text English in Use in the Written and Communication Skills subject of SY BCom. So let us go to the poem. We have already discussed a little bit about Kamala Das. Let us read here a little. Kamala Das was born in Kerala, India in the year 1934. She has published a number of books of poems. So we already know Kamala Das. She was one of the most prominent and strong voices of the Indian English poets. And she was born in Kerala. She was already from a literary background. Her mother was a poetess, and like her mother, she also excelled in writing, right? At the age of just 15 years old, she was married, but still she continued her passion for writing. That is one thing to note about Kamala Das. And at the age of, we have seen already her prominent works. I have discussed about the works of Kamala Das earlier. At the age of 65, she converted to Islam. After that, she changed her name to Kamala Suraiya. Kamala Das is also known as a confessional poet. She was very frank in her style of writing, very versatile. Right, she used to write very boldly, and that is why she is very popular, and at the same time controversial also. She also tried her hand in politics in the later part of her life. She formed her own political party, and at one point of time she contested in elections, Indian Parliament elections, unsuccessfully, of course. But yes, she did try her hand in politics also. So this is just a little bit more about Kamala Das. Let us see more. In this poem, as I told you that Kamala Das is a confessional poet. She has written her autobiography also. And here also this poem goes in the same line. It is autobiographical poem, more of what Kamala Das is trying to narrate an experience from her childhood. In this poem, she remembers an incident which caused her not joy but pain. Now in adulthood, she can look back on the day of the punishment, detaching herself from that pain. She is not part of it anymore. She has found an adult peace. Now this word adult peace, a lot of discussion can be done on this word adult peace. In this poem, as the title suggests, punishment in kindergarten. So we are here in the poem, Kamala Das is narrating one small incident which took place in kindergarten. That is, preschools, Balwadi, what we call, right? And it is regarding a painful incident. The title itself suggests punishment. So it is not an incident which gave her immense joy, but it is connected to a hurt, a feeling of hurt which is there from the past, right? And this adult peace which she is talking about. So when she grows up, when the incident is passed over, left back in the past, we usually detach ourselves from that incident, and that we can term as adult peace, right? When an incident has taken place long back, and after many years, when we look back upon that incident, we can to some extent detach ourselves from that incident and see. And that is what Kamala Das has also tried to do in this poem. She is narrating this incident which happened to her in kindergarten when she was a very little child, and she has found an adult peace with which she can speak about the incident without becoming upset. So, in the poem, she tries to, convince the readers. She puts forward an argument that it has become, this incident took a place long time ago. So now there is no need to feel upset about it. Now there is no need to feel sad about it. But to what extent she is able to overcome her grief, that we will see in the poem. Okay, now before we begin the actual poem, we can do a little pre-activity. There things you remember from when you were in Balwadi or when you were in preschool, right? So this is one thing which can be discussed, that when you read this poem, you can recall in your mind if there are any particular incidences which you remember from your preschool. Most of the times we forget our kindergarten days, but yes, we do have at the back of our mind, at some place hidden, some memories. They may not be very, very clear. The faces may be blurred, right? But we still remember some incidents. Some incidents of our childhood, they are pleasant, some they are painful, and some are just unforgettable. So when you look back into your kindergarten days, when you look back in when you were in pre-primary, what things do you recollect? Do you remember the colorful benches which were there, the part of the kindergarten? Or do you remember your teachers? Do you remember any kind of nursery rhymes which you used to sing? Do you remember, quarrels or little bit, with your friends, quarrels or little bit things with your friends, right? So what do you remember? Maybe the faces will not be clear because the memories will be of past. They are long back memories. So maybe most of us don't remember the actual faces of the friends which were there in kindergarten or what was there, but we have a dull image in our mind which remains. So this is that. What kind of memories do you have associated with your kindergarten? What do these memories make you feel? How do these memories make you feel? And are all the memories pleasant? This is one question. Whether whatever we have experienced, it is related to happiness, or is there a pinch of sadness in it? This poem is an honest and evocative expression of one of Kamala Surayya's. I told you she has changed her name at the age of 65 after getting converted into Islam. This poem is an honest and evocative expression of one of Kamala Surayya's memories of her kindergarten. Okay, observe carefully how she shares her thoughts and feelings. So in the poem, we will see that how and what Kamala Das is trying to express, how she shares her thoughts to the readers, and what do you, catch from that, and what pleasant or painful memories, though reading this poem, arises in your mind. Let us go to the poem now. Yes, the poem starts from here. Today the world is a little more my own, right? Today the world is a little more my own, right? The very first sentence starts with today, that is present. So it suggests that yes, we are talking about something which is not in present. We are talking something which is in past. So today the world is a little more my own. She's trying to say that past was not in her hands, but today she is in control of her life. Today the world is a little bit her own, right? Today she is there and she is going to talk. The very first sentence tells us that she is going to speak about some incident of the past. No need to remember the pain, right? She as if convinces herself, or as if she's trying to tell it to the readers. No need to remember the pain. She is, being very affirmative, very strong here, telling that I don't want to remember the pain, right? A blue-frogged woman caused. Pain which was caused by a blue-frogged woman. She is not even addressing the teacher as teacher. She is calling her as a woman. She has that image in her mind. Maybe the face of the teacher is not clear. It is a long time back incident. So of course she does not remember the exact face of the teacher, or the image is not clear in her mind. But she precisely remembers that the teacher was wearing a blue frock on that day, right? So the blue colored clothes are very clear in her mind, and she's saying that I don't want to remember the pain which was caused by that woman wearing a blue frock. Throwing words at me like pots and pans. See this imagery. You know, it's such a wonderful imagery. Throwing words at me. So here the teacher is, you know, shouting at the little child. She is yelling at the little child, and she's comparing that, you know, harsh words like throwing up pots and pans. Pots and pans are vessels, right? When you get angry, it is a, you know, common usual scenario that, you know, whatever is in your hand you throw, right? So here also, you know, this very popular Indian imagery is being used by Kamala Das here. She is comparing the, you know, shouting of the words, the throwing of the words literally with the throwing of the pots and pans, whatever vessels are there in your hand, you know, in the kitchen when you are angry, if anybody, all the vessels, pots and pans or whatever is in your hand, you throw it, right? You throw it at the other person on whom you are angry. So here also the poetess is telling us that the woman, she throwed the words. Words came out from her mouth in such a way as if she was throwing angrily pots and pans, the vessels, to drain that honey-colored day of peace. So, you know, the poetess is saying that, you know, that day was a very pleasant day. Till then it was a very nice day. It was a honey-colored day of peace. You know, she was the little child, she was at peace at that day, and she was very, very happy. She was in her own world enjoying, right? She was, you know, but somehow when the teacher got angry, when the teacher scolded the little child, you know, it ruined her day. She got very upset during that day. You know, up till now, everything was very, very peaceful. It was a honey-colored day, a very beautiful day for the child. The child was enjoying up till now. But then all of a sudden, the teacher is coming and teacher is scolding the child. So it ruined her day. That is what she means to say. Why don't you join the others? What a peculiar child you are. What kind of words are these? Why don't you join the others? What a peculiar child you are. You know, this shows, this points out the insensitivity of the teacher. You know, every child is different, right? We already know that every child is different. You know, some children, they are very, very extrovert. They like to be in groups. But at the same time, there are certain children who like to be with themselves. They enjoy their own company, right? So here also, Kamala Das may be of that, you know, nature. She was enjoying her day. She was not, you know, unhappy about anything. She was not sad about anything. She was having a good time. Though she had not joined her other friends in the play, in playing, but she was having a good time. You know, this entire incident, you know, which Kamala Das has narrated here, it takes a place on a day of picnic. You know, they had gone to a picnic at Victoria Gardens in Calcutta, and this particular incident, you know, Kamala Das is narrating here. So while in the picnic, all the other children, they were playing in groups, right? They were playing in crowd, they were playing in clusters. But Kamala Das restrained herself from that. Maybe she was a you know, different child, a sensitive child, a more sensitive child. She liked the, you know, to enjoy the beauty of the nature. She liked, she was sensitive towards the environment in which she was. She wanted to be in the company of the flowers and the, you know, plants there maybe. So, but the teacher failed to understand the psychology of this little child. Somehow the teacher got angry, and the words are really hurting over here. Yeah, right. It's like an insult. They are very hurtful words coming out from the mouth of a teacher. Why don't you join the others? What a peculiar child you are. What a odd, what a strange person you are. Right? So, a lot of discussion can be done on this particular, trait of the teacher, right? That how teachers should be, right? How much it is necessary for a teacher to understand child psychology, right? And what is the correct attitude should be for a teacher towards a child, right? Only having a knowledge, is it sufficient to be a teacher for a kindergarten, right? Or do you need to have some other qualifications also, some other necessities a teacher, some other necessary qualifications a teacher should have, right? In order to understand a small little child. Right, so here, very clearly, these words are very hurtful coming out from the mouth of the blue-frocked woman, that is the teacher. Why don't you join the others? What a peculiar child you are. What a peculiar, what a strange, what a odd child you are. On the lawn in clusters sat my schoolmates sipping sugarcane. They turned and laughed. So it is like that when the teacher is scolding the child, she is not even scolding the child alone, right? She is scolding the child in front of all her classmates, right? What were the other children doing at that time? My other schoolmates, she is talking about her other schoolmates, the other students in the class. These students in the class, they were sitting in a group, right? They were in a group and only she was alone, right? And that is why the teacher got angry, that why you are not joining the others. On the lawn, that is on the green lawn, they sat in clusters. Clusters means crowd, right? They were sitting in a group, right? They were sitting in a crowd. Sat my schoolmates sipping sugarcane. So they may be having sugarcane juice, ganne ka ras. They will be they must be having that. And all these classmates turned towards her and laughed. You know, it is all the more painful. The teacher's words were hurtful, but at the same time, again, to add to her sorrow, even her classmates did not support her, right? Instead of feeling sorry for her or instead of coming out and telling her it is okay, right? Nobody did like that. But instead, all these small children, they started laughing on her. Right now, this is human nature. We need to sometimes understand our human nature. It is said that, small children are very, very innocent. But yes, certain things, they are probably inborn, or very few of us are sensitive, right? And as we grow up, we need to, cultivate this sensitivity more. But, even the small children here, they are not sensitive. When the poetess is in sorrow, when she is upset, these children, instead of supporting her, instead of consoling her, they come to her, they start laughing on her. And this adds to the sorrow of the little child. Children are funny things. They laugh in mirth at others' tears. So Kamala Das is saying children are funny things, right? They are very odd creatures, kind of, right? They laugh in mirth, in amusement, as if, a joke has happened, as if an amusing scene has taken place, right? They laugh in others' tears, right? When the little child, when she was scolded by the teacher, she was in sorrow, she was in pain, tears started flowing out from her eyes maybe, right? But these children, they started laughing at her. So this is what she is doing. She is analyzing she is analyzing the nature of these little children, that how in the pain of others also, these little children also laugh. I buried my face in the sun-warmed hedge, right? So immediately, she feels very, very insulted. The little child feels very, very insulted at this point of time. And she says that, I tried to hide from everybody. I tried to hide my face. And she runs away from there, runs away from this, crowd of students laughing at her. And she buries her face in the sun-warmed hedge and smelt the flowers and the pane. Hedge, what do you mean by hedge? Hedge is a, fence, or you can call as a boundary made up of small bushes. She is in a garden, I told you already. So in the garden, you will notice that, the bushes are trimmed and, a kind of boundary or a hedge is formed. So here, Kamala, the poetess, she runs towards the hedge and she buries her face in that hedge. Now again, this line is very, very beautiful. Please note. And smelt the flowers and the pane. Right? Look at the sensitivity of the poet. Two experiences she is having at the same time. One is of pain and one is a pleasant experience. When she is, burying her, face in that hedge, in that boundary of bushes, right? She is able to smell the lovely fragrance of the flowers. But at the same time, she is even able to experience the hurt in her heart. Right? She is able to experience the pain which is there in her heart because of the insult from her teachers and the laughing of her friends. Right? So both the experiences are coming to her at the same time. One is a pleasant experience that she is able to smell the fragrance of the flowers, and another, on the other side, she has a painful experience also. She is able to experience the hurt also inside at the same time. The words are muffled now. So now she is coming back to a time. Now she is coming to a present time. Now she is telling about, narrating this incident, that now the words are muffled. That is, muffled means they are not very clear, or they are heard in the background, right? They are very, very distant. They are very, very soft, right? They are, because it's a memory of the past. Words, which words? Maybe the laughter, maybe the words of the teacher, all these have gone into the background, and she can, recall those words, but not very distinctly. The laughing faces only a blur. The children were laughing at her. That faces also, are there in the background. Now these faces have become blurred. She cannot look, identify the exact face of the child, neither of the teacher. But yes, all those faces which were there, she has only a outline or an image of those faces. The years have sped along, stopping briefly at beloved halls and moving sadly on. So these lines suggest the passage of time, right? So many years have passed, and this incident was had taken place in kindergarten. Now at that time when she has written this poem, she was a mature woman. So all these years have passed on swiftly, right? Sadly, everything has moved on. Life has continued, right? She passed her kindergarten, she passed her school, college, everything, and now she is a renowned writer at this point of time. So, time has passed away, right? All those memories have gone into the background, they have faded. My mind has found an adult peace. Yes. This is what she is saying. This is what Kamala Das is trying to tell here, that now many years have passed and now I have found an adult peace. Right? Now I don't need to be sad about that kindergarten incident. Right? Now I don't need to be upset about that kindergarten incident. Right? It is an incident which has taken place long time back, or now I don't need to remember it. My mind has found adult peace. No need to remember that picnic day when I lay hidden in the hedge. Right? But, we can argue. One thing can be argued here. She's saying, very emphatically, she's saying that I don't need to remember that picnic day. So maybe she's trying to convince herself. Maybe she's trying to convince the readers that there is no need to remember the picnic day. But of course, she is remembering the picnic day, right? That is why the poem is here in front of us, right? She is definitely remembering the picnic day with all the minute details. She is even remembering the clothes, the color of the dress which the teacher had worn on that day. So it is but obvious that, somehow at the, back of her mind, in her unconscious mind, still that hurt from the childhood is there, right? Maybe it is still there, right? She has not totally forgotten it, or she is not able to completely get over it. This is there. So that is why, though she is claiming here that I have found my adult peace, now my heart is at peace, I am not hurt, upset anymore, now I am not saddened anymore, but still, because this entire poem which she has written, maybe this is the proof that she has not got over from that incident. That incident she has not forgotten completely, right? No need to remember that picnic day when I lay hidden by the hedge, watching the steel white sun standing lonely in the sky, right? Steel white sun, the image of the sun is there. The sun is there lonely in the sky, and so is Kamala Das, right? So is the little child, right? At that point of time in the picnic on that kindergarten day, right? So she is comparing herself maybe to the, steel white sun, like the way the sun was there lonely in the sky and she looked at the sun. In the same way, on that particular day of picnic, she was also lonely. She was also, sad, right? Left alone by her classmates as well as her teacher. So she is feeling that hurt. And, we can say from this entire poem that maybe she has not forgotten the incident completely. She has not been able to get over the grief of the past completely. Right? When when in the present any unpleasant incident takes place, right? When any difficult or sad incident takes place, all the bad experiences, all the bad memories of the past, they, come to your mind. So maybe it may be during that one such point of time when Kamala Das must have written this poem. So maybe something at the present time may be very hurtful for her, and that is why this particular memory of a bad experience or a hurtful experience came to her mind, and maybe she jotted down this entire poem. But it is very, very suggestive that, sometimes it is said that, whatever experiences which we have in our childhood, they shape most of our adulthood personality. So to what extent that is true, that is a question of discussion here. So, from this poem, many points can be taken for discussion that, how much the, influences of your childhood, they are, helpful or to frame your adulthood personality. One is the question about being extrovert and introvert, right? The children who are introvert in their childhood, do they remain always introvert, or what happens to them? The question is also about sensitivity, that how much you are sensitive towards the other person. Right? So this is only the explanation of the poem. Further discussion about the poem can be done later. So I think we have covered up the, surface meaning of the poem, the, questions which can be discussed from this poem. The more, questions relating to life, the more questions relating to the psychology, the psyche of a child, the attitude of the teachers, right? The questions of sensitivity, the questions of being extrovert and introvert, all these can be, taken up into further discussion about this poem. Okay.